Hello, and thank you for joining me in this demo of EZPower Restaurant Software version 14. First, we're going to go over several of the different interfaces that are offered in this software, including the quick serve interface, bar tab interface, full service interface, and then we'll be going through delivery and drive-through as well, and then we'll give an overview of the rest of the features. So we're also going to start now with the quick serve interface. This interface would be used at any place that utilizes counter service and does not use any kinds of servers in their establishment. Okay, so we're going to start with the quick serve interface, and it's important to note that this interface is for anyone that uses counter service, meaning someone comes up to the counter, they purchase something, they pay for it then, and that's it. You can program it to either print a kitchen ticket or to not print a kitchen ticket with orders, and you can also alternately suspend orders using this interface as well. Although if you do a lot of suspended orders, the tabs interface might be a better interface to use. Now, when I say that there are different interfaces, you should note that if you have multiple stations, you could have different interfaces on different stations. So for example, if you're a full-service restaurant, you could have a station that when you load it up, it opens up and defaults to the table service interface. And the station that's behind the bar might open up and default to the tabs interface. Okay? And of course, if you don't have either of those, if you're just a quick serve fast food type place, you would just open up and it would go to this, which is the regular standard sales quick serve window. So we go in, and as you can see, this is our sales window. Up at the top here, we have our different categories. I'm sorry, not categories. We have our different menus or departments. So you got food. When you click on food, it'll show you all the subcategories in food. You can have as many as you want. Scroll through them. When you click on each one, it shows you the different things. If you have more than 24 items, which is how many buttons there are here, you can simply click on it and it'll take you to the next page if there is a next page. No limit on how many buttons you can have. You can, of course, aside from creating buttons, this software does have the ability to let you scan barcodes as well. So if you have barcoded items or you do any kind of retail in your restaurant as well, you can also simply scan a barcode as well, and it'll pull that right up, the item that you're selling. As you can see, drinks. As you can see over here, you can also assign pictures to your items. Okay. Which is very easy to do. When you create the item in the system, there's actually a search button right there where whatever the name of the item is, it'll immediately open up a Google search for pictures for that item for you, and you can just click on it and save it to your desktop and then put in the correct pictures folder. But you can assign pictures here as well. Alright, so let's just do a quick sale here, just so you can get the feel of it. So I'm going to ring up this Coke. I hit finish. And my window comes up. I can hit cash. I can split it. Or I can hit credit card. Split meaning split the tender between cash, credit, or whatever other means you may have. So I say $5. A receipt prints up, which is optional. You can have it not print receipts if you don't want it to. Change is shown. You click OK. And it's ready for the next transaction. Let's go through some of these other functions that you're going to see here. Got an employee toolbar, which pops up a whole bunch of different options that employees can have, including gift cards, table service if you want to put that in here as well. Manager toolbar, tax exempted, do returns, void closed sales, close out the register on a Z report, access your reports menu directly from here. If you want to send or if you want to suspend the order, you can do that as well. For example, let's say someone called in and ordered something. So I hit this. I'll hit the name tag button so I know who it was. I'll say John. Okay, as you can see, this is my open order down here. It shows me on order number 21, named John. If I hit send suspend, it takes me to the next transaction. And as you can see, I'm on a new transaction here, and it shows the suspend order over here. If they suspended order over here. Click on this order, it pulls it right back up. I can close it out, and now it's gone. You can also click on this and see all the orders that you have here, but typically you're only going to show the open orders. Let's see what else we got here. Print check. That lets you just print a check for someone. That's usually more used in table service type functionality as opposed to quick serve, but it's there if you want it. Clearing a sale. You can also do things like add notes. So for example, I ring up my platter here. It comes with a salad, ranch dressing. Choose pita bread and a side. Okay. Let's say I wanted to add some notes that I could click Kitchen Notes, and I could say, for example, no onions, no cheese. You can make this list as long as you want. And of course, you can always type in something specifically like no veggies. No veggies in the veggie platter. Okay, and then that will of course show up. It doesn't show it up here, but it will show up on the ticket when it goes to the kitchen. And clear sale, clears the entire sale. Got item tools over here, tax exempt things, modify the price. You can do all sorts of, there's many different options over here. One thing to note is that with this interface, and with all the interfaces, all these buttons are completely customizable, so you can add or change the different functions that show on the toolbar on both sides of the screen here, because some things are more important for other people. For example, if you do a lot of gift cards, you might want to put your gift card functionality right down here, which is of course built into the system. Discounting, split checks, if you need to add a tip afterwards for credit card purposes, opening the cash drawer. Then you got the customer button, which lets you assign it to a specific customer. This is used more for delivery type locations, more than anything else, but this pulls it up and saves it to the customer account. If you're using, for some reason, the customer accounts for billing purposes, you can actually charge transactions to a customer's account and bill them later if you so desire. Hit duplicate, just orders another round of that particular item. Again, very simple interface, very easy to use. Like here we put a little coupons section here, which would have all your discounts if you have any. And again, no limit to how many items you can have. And it also has full retail functionality. It will also track inventory as well on any items that you ring up if you choose to use that functionality. And that's pretty much it for this particular interface. When a station is in table service mode, and you hit the sales button here, it will immediately start off by prompting you for a waiter to log in. Depending on which code you log in with, it will show you a specific set of tables that are either yours or not yours. In this case, as you can see, all these tables are black, which shows that they are all available. If I click on a table, it takes me into the table. I can then ring up the order. This person had a salad, so ranch dressing, wheat bread, and we'll give them a side of white rice. And then I hit send suspend. Their order is now sent to the kitchen, and the login changes over so the next person can use the station. If I log back in with my own code, as you can see, it shows this table is green, which means that it is my table. If you were to log in as a different waiter, it would show that table is red, and that other server, when they log in, would not be able to access this table. Once your table is in, you can of course always go right back into it and add other items. Suspend it again. Of course, the ticket will only print the additional items that have been added. Splitting checks is also very easy. We can click on the order that we wish to split, hit the split button, shows all the items. We can move one thing to another check. And now, as you can see here, let's make this a little bit bigger here so you can see the table. You can see two different splits on table 1. I can click on this first split, hit the print check key. It'll print a check for that split. Hit the second one, print the check for that split. Once they pay me, I go and I can finish off, close out each one individually directly from here without having to actually go back into the order, although you can actually go back into the table and close it out from directly into the table. So the table interface is very easy. You can also see here we have 12 tables. If you hit the room key, you'll see that you can have up to 12 different seating areas. Each of these can be customized in however you want, and you can also add background pictures of whatever you want behind these and move these tables in any way that you wish. let's go back to our main interface here. Okay. If you happen to be a location that has a hostess station, meaning that you actually have an entire station devoted just toward seating people, you can use the reservation module where people can put reservations in ahead of time, and when they arrive they can be automatically seated at the table. You can also create a waiting list. For example, I type in John here. I'll say 6. I know it's a party of 6. I hit OK, and it shows me John has been waiting and how long he's been waiting for. And then what I would do is, when it's time to seat them, I would just click on their name, hit the table button, and seat them at a table. Okay. Now, as you can see, this table is now turned purple, which shows that someone has been seated at that table. You can also use the Seat Table button to seat someone who's not on the waiting list, and it simply marks. You can put a name in, or you don't have to put a name in, it doesn't matter. It marks now that this table has been seated. When the table is purple, it means it's been seated, but no one has actually put an order on the table. So if someone is walking by, if a server is in their area, and they see their screen over here, they'll see a purple table. If they click on the table while they're logged in, the table will then turn blue, showing that a server has now picked up that table and has acknowledged that those guests need to be helped. Once the server actually puts an order on the table, it will turn red for all other servers and green for them as well. When the server is done with their shift, they simply come over to any of the terminals, hit the waiter report, and it runs a closeout report just for that one specific server, and shows you exactly as a manager what they owe you for the night. And it's a very simple and very thorough interface. Check splitting, very easy. Reservations, waiting lists, multiple seating charts. It's got pretty much everything you could need as far as table service goes. Now we're going to go over the tabs interface. This interface is one that would be used in any location that does a lot of orders that get suspended, whether it's at a bar and you're keeping open tabs, or if you have a lot of phone orders where people call in and put their order and then you suspend it. If you have any place that has a lot of suspended orders that does not necessarily use table service, we'll use this. Although, of course, you can set up a station just to be in one interface and another station to be in another interface. For example, if you're a restaurant that has servers, you would have the servers using a station that defaults to the table service screen, and the stations at the bar would default to this tab interface screen. So we go into it right now. It shows you any list of open tickets. As you can see right now, we have none. So we're going to go ahead and put a new order in here. Let's just go here. Beverages. Bring up a can of Coke here. And in this case, what we're going to do right now is, this is going to be an open tab. So we're going to hit the name tag button down here and type in the name of the customer. Click OK, and then we're going to hit send suspend. Now, as you can see, we have an open tab here for John. You can put any information you want into this customer field. You can put a person's name, a bar stool number. I type in guy in the red hat, whatever you want, you can put it here, and it'll show you all your list of open tickets. If you need to add to the order, you can, of course, reopen the order and add to it, resuspend it. Okay. And if you want to pay it out, you can pay it out either by going into the order itself and, of course, hitting the finish button here, or simply from the tab screen right here, click on any order you want to close out. If they need a check printed, you can click print check, and then you can just close it out just like normal, and then it is gone. But this is the tab interface. There actually is another tab interface that the software can utilize, but we tend to use this one because it lets you close out each check right from this interface, so it's pretty good. And that's it for the tab interface. Now we're going to go over some of the other features of the software. From the main menu right over here, you'll see that there's a kitchen monitor and a bar monitor, meaning that you can actually have a station devoted simply toward showing you your sales for either one prep area, or it doesn't necessarily have to be the kitchen and a bar. It could be prep area 1, prep area 2, however you really want to do it. It's pretty much the same thing, but you can send orders to here, and then they'll show up on the monitors at that location. You also have a time clock, of course. People can clock in and clock out. You can assign different people different pay rates for different positions, and when they clock in, it'll ask them exactly what they are clocking in as, and it'll pay them the appropriate rates. Of course, it'll print out a time clock report for you, showing you the totals. Let's go over here, and we'll go over some things here. Our report menu. This is an important thing. You've got many, many different kinds of reports. Got your sales reports, sales today, month, week, year. We're not obviously going to go over each of these reports for time purposes, but as you can see, you got a lot of different things, including returns and void reports, which are very important here. Discount report as well. Payment reports, reports by cashier, reports by waiter, if someone's designated as a waiter specifically. Customer reports for specific customer accounts. Reports by supplier. Item reports by category, so you can look up your sales by category or department. Different product reports here. Inventory reports. And then there's some remote report options over here. But yeah, very, very thorough reporting section over here. You have a sales monitor over here. You can click that anytime you want to see where your sales are for the day. Okay, so let's go through some of these options that we've got here so you can see all the things this software can do. First of all, you can have up to 6 different printers for items, meaning you can have up to 6 different kitchen printers, bar printers. You can route a prep ticket to go to any one of 6 printers. And not just these 6 printers, we could also route them to go to specific receipt printers at specific stations as well. So for example, if you wanted to have all the drinks print up at the receipt printer at your bar station, you could have that designated as a prep printer for all the drinks to go to, and then all the drinks will print there, whereas all your hot food, for example, might print to your kitchen. But yeah, it's very flexible when it comes to how you print your kitchen tickets. Obviously, you can change your table layout very easily. One nice little feature that this does have, which is mostly for quick serve places, is you can utilize the standard poll display, which is a standard 2-line VFD display that simply tells the customer what you rang up and the price, or you can utilize a second monitor. A lot of times we have the 7-inch or 10-inch displays that are full color monitors on the other side of the sales terminal, and not only does it display what the customer has rung up and what you're ringing up for them, but it will also scroll advertisements. It'll show pictures that you put in a folder, and it'll however many pictures you put in this folder, it puts it as a slideshow and shows that between transactions. So when someone walks up to the counter, they're automatically being shown whatever advertisements you want, and that's something that's built into the software, which is very nice. Another good function is the terminology function. With that, you can basically change any word in the software to another word, which you can use either, for example, let's say you don't like the word waiter. You can make all references to the word waiter and change them to the word server. Or you can also use that to translate certain parts of the software into other languages. Although the software is available in some other languages as well, including there's a Spanish version, a Danish version, and I believe a French version as well. But the terminology lets you change anything to anything. Email setup. This is an interesting thing here. You can also do some nice stuff, for example, where you can have the system automatically email you reports either throughout the day or simply at the end of the day, which can be very useful. There are also options here that let you remotely update your inventory and change things like that as well. Let's see, inventory adjustments are here. Sales control lets you view your actual sales in some very specific ways. The customer accounts are a very powerful tool that are in here. It's not as used in the restaurant versions as it is in the retail, but it does allow you to have a very large customer database where you can actually track everything that customers have sold. You can create mailing lists, the customers have bought. You can create mailing lists from this, and You can also charge off transactions to a customer. So for example, if you have a corporate customer who comes in and they don't pay necessarily, they pay every month because they come there constantly with different clients, you could charge it to their account, which is kind of like a master tab, so to speak, and then you can bill them later, and you can do things like that. And then here we've got all the different tools here, which we don't really need to go into too much right now. The only thing of importance or interest that I should say right now would be the gift cards, and that is that the software does support gift cards built in directly into the system, meaning you don't have to pay a processor to use them. You can go out and buy gift cards anywhere you want, and they can be used in the system to store balances on. You can input new balances on them. You can reuse the same cards. It has a very, very flexible gift card program built right into it. And that's pretty much it. Again, it's a pretty feature-packed software, and if there is anything here that it does not do that I have not shown you, I apologize for that, because I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible to keep this very long demo down to the bare minimum here, but it is pretty feature-packed. And if there are certain features that you're looking for at your location, just give us a call and we'll explain how that works. For example, we didn't go over the delivery options over here, but it does support things like delivery, phone orders, and things of that nature, including even caller ID for deliveries on a station-by-station basis. So it's a pretty good software. It's one of a few that we do offer. But yeah, if you have any questions about this software, again, this is the EZPower Restaurant version 14. Just give us a call. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you.